Bill, do you have enough headroom?
I think so.
Okay. Maybe I have too much headroom. I think everybody else.
I can back it down a little.
Okay. No, I don't know because I don't know if what I'm seeing is the same. I don't know if I have a WYSIWYG view here.
Well, it's
you look like you've got enough headroom.
Anything above your head, above your hairline, is wasted picture space, as far as I'm concerned. But
right.
in any event, I'm sure that'll do it.
You know, one of my sons had his 19th birthday the other day, and he wanted, above all else, to go to the gun range and just send some hot lead downrange. And we did that. And when we went in there, the guy in the next lane, I don't know what he was shooting. I'm guesstimating 50 caliber. And
yeah, no, I've heard those things. Was it an indoor range?
Yes.
It's almost intolerable to be even in the same room as one of those.
And so I have these. I don't even know what to call them. They're not earmuffs. They're not headphones. What's the ear protection called that looks like a set of headphones? Is there a word for that?
Ear cover.
Hearing protection.
Hearing
Sometimes
protection,
people.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. So I've got these on. So I'm pretty well protected. The rest of my family is like they lost their minds, you know.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
My father-in-law and my two sons were with us. So anyway, the concussion though from that thing, like I didn't hear it so much as I felt it. The whole room seemed to shake.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I don't want to ban anybody or anything, but if somebody's shooting a 50 cal indoors, no one else is shooting anything. You just can't concentrate. It's almost unbearable to be next to it, and that's with the cans on, right? I mean, when they're off. My wife drags me to the shooting range every week now. She fires 500, 600 rounds a week.
Wow.
She's crazy.
So good. That's dedication.
Crazy good shot.
I'd have to Uber 18 hours a day to be able to afford that.
Well, I was just simply they're 22 rounds, which helps.
Oh, okay.
So
$4 for 50.
I was at the range and I had my headphones off just for a minute, and somebody fired a 9 and not real close. And without the hearing protection on, it's like, wow, this is loud. It makes you wonder how these guys in actual combat
every cop
come
show
back with
is
any
BS.
Hearing at all.
Every cop show is BS because every time they have a gunfight in every episode, you know, and it's like,
and they're shooting indoors and nobody's ears are ringing or anything.
And after the first shot, nobody could talk to anybody else. You know, meanwhile, they're on these comms units with their hands like, he's right around the corner. Boom, 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 boom. I think he just went up the stairs. You know, it's like...
You know what I love, and you can get these at Cabela's. It's your ear cover, but they've got microphones on the outside and speakers on the inside, and so words, people speaking to you, are transmitted to the earphones, but it cuts off loud noises.
So anyway, the point of all that, ladies and gentlemen, is guns. Okay, so I'm Scott Ott, and this is Bill Whittle and Stephen Green, and this is the Backstage episode. Yes, I guess even though this isn't live, we just don't have the time to edit it down. So you're going to get all that anyway.
Or the inclination.
Just sheer laziness on your behalf.
That's right. So this week's Right Angle is brought to you by the members at BillWhittle.com, and this members-only episode is kind of your opportunity to sit in with us in our pre-production meeting. And Stephen Green has drawn the Thanksgiving straw and is grateful indeed. And so, Steve, you get to go first this week.
I do, and for members, this one's really easy. Every 2 or 3 years, it's my turn to do members on Thanksgiving week because we don't really take a week off, and I want to do my traditional Thanksgiving episode and talk about what we're thankful for these last 12 months. It's been a pretty good year, a pretty exciting year, and maybe we can drop the politics on this one, or maybe we won't. It's whatever Scott and Bill, whatever you guys are thankful for.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I already have a pretty good idea what I'm going to say, and there's going to be
no
politics.
Ever.
And it has to be something that you're like something positive that you're thankful for, Bill. Not like you're just thankful that Hillary Clinton isn't president of the United States, but
that's
thankful
something
that
positive.
She'll soon be in jail or something like.
Yeah, shortest show ever. We'll get this one done in 90 seconds.
I remain as ever thankful for Bill's
That's the members episode, right, Stephen?
Yes, that is members. And for my regular segment, I want to talk about the end of the Clintons. It's 25 years overdue. Wait, how many years ago was 1992? Yeah, 25 years overdue. And I think we're finally getting there. They're raking Bill over some very old coals, but this time it seems to be burning him. And if Bill goes down, so does Hillary. Yeah. Can
when you say it's the end, when you say it's the end of the Clintons, I'm always reminded of the end of a horror movie when somebody says, "Don't worry, it's dead."
That's right.
Yeah, or the blob will stay frozen as long as Antarctica stays frozen.
And that guy in the first Halloween movie who suddenly, sits up and then you hear the piano music. Ding, ding, ding,
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Well, I mean, think about it. It would be the end of the Clintons if there were any such thing as shame in the Clinton family.
Well,
but I think I may have mentioned this on a previous show, but when Bill Clinton got a new dog once years ago, he actually gave it the Irish name Seamus, Seamus. He actually named his dog Shame Us.
Bill Clinton named his dog Seamus?
He did.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I know that Barack Obama named his dog Bo. B-O.
Right.
Not B-E, not B-E-A-U.
No.
And I'm going to name my dog after me, too.
Exactly.
There was not a punch bowl in the world that guy wouldn't pee in.
I'm just hoping that didn't speak of paternity, on the dog or anything. So anyway, we're going to bring back the Clintons to dispatch them. And Steve, I think I'm assuming the angle on this, the interesting angle, is who's putting them away.
That is the interesting angle, and the other interesting angle I think I'm going to save for my conclusion is what they're using to put them away, because I think that explains the why. But that's my little cliffhanger until we actually tape the segment.
So there's this headline that I see in the Washington Post that says, "Foreign Service leadership being decapitated and depleted at a dizzying speed." And it's one of an ongoing series of Washington Post stories about how Rex Tillerson is about to get fired at every moment of every day. And so the Secretary of State apparently has not filled these crucial positions, and the organization, the Foreign Service, is actually being decapitated. Do you think there was any care taken in the choice of that particular word? There's a story today in the Washington Post about how he has put Afghanistan and Iraq and Mali, I think, on a list of nations that can be excused from our... we have this law that was passed in 2008 that basically said we're not going to help any countries that are recruiting child soldiers. But there's some evidence that perhaps up to a dozen or two child soldiers have been used in the armies in one or more of these countries. And so they're basically making it sound like the end of the world, that we're going to continue to support Afghanistan, that we're going to continue to work with the Iraqi government, that we're going to continue to help in Mali. So anyway, the overall point of it is, I think it's really cool that Secretary Tillerson is not filling important positions at the State Department. And I think he's on a path to greatness that he will rival Thomas Jefferson, who, when he started at the State Department as Secretary of State, had 2 assistants. And that's it.
A department of 3.
Yes. So
those were the days. So
this is being another situation where it's being portrayed in the media as a terrible thing. But if you are really a constitutionalist, you look at this and go, what's the problem here?
I can tell you what the problem is, but again, I will save that for the segment.
Thank
in the meantime, leaving our viewers going, but what does Steve mean? Because they do that a lot.
Well, our friend Bill Whittle, as he mentioned in his most recent Nexus report, is recovering from what my grandmother used to call the PIP. And so... Did you have the PIP?
I don't know what the PIP is.
We never knew what it was either, but she would say we had it.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't scurvy or rickets.
Consumption. The consumption.
The consumption.
Yes, the consumption.
I feel like I'm usually pretty well up to date on military issues, but I didn't even know there was a B-21 until earlier today, which is
not
shocking.
A vitamin.
No, sorry. Thank you for pointing that out. It's the Air Force's new replacement bomber, but the thing that's interesting about it is, well, first of all, to an untrained eye, it's very nearly indistinguishable from the B-2, but that's just because the B-2 apparently has got stealth just about perfect. It's stealthier, but it's got a lot of shoes to fill. But the reason I'm interested in this story is apparently, and we're still real early in the game, they've learned some lessons from the procurement of the F-35, and the program is getting a fair amount of compliments and kudos for being relatively clear and on budget, and almost as if the money belonged to somebody.
Now, are you sure this isn't the B 2.1?
No, it's
no.
It's entirely possible they named it that in that fashion. But,
no, it's the Air Force's 21st century bombers. So they named it
there
the
you go.
B-21.
There you go.
That's it. Now, I hope that's not it, Steve, because I've always
no,
found
that is it. There was that's what the Air Force announced.
Therefore, the oxymoron of military intelligence comes back again. But this is.
By the way, on that one subject, that's B-1 pilots call their plane the Bone.
Yep.
They always refer to it as the Bone. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, B-O-N-E.
Just the idea that something you make in the the early 5th of the century would be called a 21st century bomb. Hey, get a little sense of perspective here, will you? We might make it through this century. This is probably not going to be the best bomber that we ever make.
Actually, Scott, it's probably going to be the last bomber we make before hypersonic weapons take over. No joke.
And it undoubtedly will be the last man bomber that we build.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be manned or unmanned, and the plan is for it to serve from about 2030 until 2080 or maybe even 2090. So that's the bulk of the 21st century.
They're not going to even have it in service until 2030, and we know about it now?
Well, they're taking bids and design specs and mission requirements and all the rest.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a exciting topic, and I
want to geek out on this.
I'll be dead before they fly the thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you may be able to hear in the background, my neighbor is doing his weekly weed whacking just at the time that we record this. And so I think that's basically the outro music at this award show. So we are looking forward to digging into these topics this week. As you know, never a week goes by that we don't express our gratitude to you for what you have done for us here to make it possible for us to talk about issues that are important to us and even the fun and trivial stuff. If you haven't watched Bill's episode last week on the Dodge Demon, I just watched it this morning, and I heartily encourage you to do so. But we have created something here that is unique in that it is the people who watch it that fund it and spread the word. And you have made it possible for this voice of liberty to ring out around the world. And we thank you for that. For Bill Whittle, Stephen Green, and the entire team at Right Angle, thanks to the members at BillWhittle.com for making this possible.